Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is a video, off. Bo just got neutered a couple of days ago, so he's definitely not supposed to be jumping on anything. Today's video is one that I've been really wanting to talk about, and I'm going to try to be as clear as possible and as helpful as possible. But today I wanted to talk about how to choose the right breeder. Now, I am not a professional, so this is solely based on my experience. And if you are new here, I have two goldendoodles. This is Bo, my older mini goldendoodle, and Bondi. She is not here right now. She's with my boyfriend. She is like 12 weeks now, I think, so she is still a baby. I've actually been looking for goldendoodles for a very long time. I was looking through my email the other day and I sent a few emails to breeders in 2017 specifically for goldendoodles as if I was gonna get one. I was still in college, but there was like a point in college where I really wanted to get a dog. Thank goodness I did not. I did not have the space or the time to handle a dog. Anyway, I'm slightly allergic to dogs, so it was important that I found a dog that didn't shed as much. I know there's no such thing as a hypoallergenic dog, but there are dogs that shed very little, if at all, compared to other dogs. I love dogs. I've loved goldendoodles for years now, and I just always told myself that a goldendoodle would be my dream dog. If you have a goldendoodle or you're looking into goldendoodles, there is a lot of hate towards goldendoodles, and I don't mind that at all. To each their own. I think a lot of the stereotypes are sometimes true. Like, I know a lot of doodles at this point. I am very involved in the doodle community of San Diego and in general. There are a lot of doodles that are not well trained because their owners might be new or not getting the proper training for them. My dogs have their own issues, and I'm really working hard to train them because I don't want them to be the stereotypical doodle. Also, a lot of people think it's ridiculous how expensive goldendoodles are, which I totally agree. Goldendoodles are so expensive, and at the end of the day, it is a mutt. And, you know, in hindsight, or when I take a step back, I'm like, yeah, that is pretty insane. And also, the grooming, sometimes they have health issues, so you really have to make sure the breeder is doing proper health testing. There's so many things that go into it. Do your research. Don't automatically agree to purchasing this random goldendoodle that you found on a Facebook page. Like, you really need to vet your breeders and ensure that you're getting a high quality goldendoodle. There are a lot of backyard breeders out there, and there are breeders coming out of the woodwork because you do have the potential to make money. Breeding properly is not cheap at all. You have to do the testing, you have to get them vaccinated, you know, there's so many supplies, you have to make sure everything's clean. Like, it's a lot of work to be a breeder. And there are a lot of people that just will randomly have one-off litters for fun without doing the appropriate testing and potentially not vetting those particular dogs enough. Now, since I'm not an expert, I really think you should look at articles online about choosing an appropriate breeder. There are websites that do their own vetting process for different breeders, so those are always a good place to start to look for breeders. My first dog, Bo, was actually a birthday gift from my boyfriend, Jonathan, which I was so shocked that he got me a dog, my dream dog at that, and it was amazing. He did his own research, so I'm not entirely sure, you know, his vetting process, but from what I've gathered, he did ensure that breeders were doing appropriate testing, that the breeders were showing the mothers and fathers, that there was an application process. There's a lot of different check marks to make before choosing a breeder. Typically, you definitely want to see that they are asking for an application from you. They should be vetting you just as much as you are vetting them. If they're not asking you any questions about your lifestyle, your experience with dogs, or anything like that, that is definitely a red flag. If their website or their Instagram does not mention anything about health testing, that's another red flag. If you are spending thousands of dollars on a dog, you need to ensure that it has the appropriate testing, because doodles are prone to tons of different illnesses, and you don't want to end up with a doodle that passes away a couple of months down the line. I see that all the time. I'm part of this doodle Facebook page, and there are dogs that unfortunately pass away because of life-threatening illnesses or just becoming totally immobilized, disabled, etc., etc. It's really, really terrible. Ideally, they have their dams and their sires on their website for you to look at, and like a little bio about them. You should see images of past litters. If they have a social media account, then you want to see past puppies and pictures of them and all of that stuff. Another thing is that a lot of breeders will have a wait list. So if you do have a good popular breeder, there may be a wait list of several months. And so you want to be patient, but it's definitely worth it. Because my boyfriend was trying to get me a dog on my birthday, he was kind of in a time crunch, and he ended up placing a deposit on 3 different litters from 3 different breeders, hoping that one of them would be available in time for my birthday. So keep in mind the deposit is usually non-refundable. It ranges anywhere from like $100 to $500 is what I've seen. One of the breeders that my boyfriend had a deposit on is very popular on Instagram, so as you can imagine, there was a long wait list. We were offered a puppy, but we actually declined that puppy because it wasn't the perfect color that we were looking for at the time. I don't think we were offered any other puppies after that, but we did let her know that we were holding off and we were not really interested in a puppy right then and there. Another deposit was for a breeder in California, which would have been very convenient, but she ended up postponing all of her litters for months and months, so the timing didn't really fit. And the third breeder, which we got Bo from, she ended up having a litter of puppies that were available, and they were the perfect color that we had wanted and the perfect size, and it was really great. And that's largely because we had a deposit on several other litters. So if you really want a puppy on a certain date, then you have to kind of plan ahead or scout multiple options. And although we kind of knew what we should be looking for, we were still a little bit inexperienced. I am really fortunate that Bo is the perfect dog and that he's healthy. However, I don't think that we had the best experience with the breeder, and it just wasn't an amazing process. And this is not to bash the breeder at all. I think she does a fine job. So now I'll just kind of get into some of the details as to why our experience with her was not the best. The first is that we had to beg for pictures of Bo, and that is not something that you want to deal with, especially when the dog is so expensive and you're so excited about it. Usually breeders will send tons of photos. That was not the case for us. We constantly had to ask her for pictures, and even then we barely got any. Now, I do want to say that Bo was from an affiliate litter, so it wasn't from her personal litters, and what that means is that she is collaborating with other local breeders near her, and those breeders are held to the same standards that she holds, but she'll help them sell their puppies, probably in exchange for a commission or something like that. So Bo was from an affiliate litter, and I think that may have been why communication was so bad. We were not in connection with Bo's actual caretakers, so everything was just done through the breeder, and she would communicate for us to them, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. Anyway, we got like barely any images, and we actually ended up getting a couple of images from Bo's siblings, which we connected with on Instagram, so they had a couple of pictures that we never even received. And we were persistent. Like, we made it very clear that we wanted to see pictures. We had to remind her multiple times, and still somehow we only ended up with like less than 10 maybe, if that, maybe like 5 pictures. That was just like not the best. We also would ask her questions and I feel like her communication was not great with us. Another thing that really kind of ticked me off is that she wasn't sure of their birthday, and one of Beau's siblings actually gave us a different day, so then we were just like in question marks about what the exact day was. And I just thought it was kind of absurd that she didn't know the exact date, or that she misspoke to one of us about the exact date. Something about that just kind of ticked me off, but we already were invested in Beau. We really wanted to get him, so we were not gonna back out now. And then I think just after we got Beau, like picking Beau up, the process was pretty smooth. They were nice people. Hey guys, so I'm editing this video right now and I forgot something else that we noticed after the fact. We noticed that every now and then she'll randomly post about random puppies being available, and they'll be like, oh, 2 golden doodles available next week, or 2 golden doodles ready to go home in 2 weeks. So nowadays it seems like she's advocating for any breeder that comes her way and says that they have extra puppies that they need to find homes for. And I think that is super fishy, because I don't know how well she vets these breeders anymore. And I'm pretty sure she removed a lot of her information about health guarantees. So that's a little bit fishy to me. If somebody's posting random puppies that are available every several weeks, I would definitely say that's a red flag, because you just don't even know where these breeders or where these puppies are coming from. It just really seems like she's doing it for the money and not because she actually wants to produce high quality puppies. And we honestly just didn't see that beforehand. I was 21 years old, Jonathan was 22. We've never purchased a puppy on our own before, so that was definitely a learning experience for us. After the fact, I feel like it was just kind of whatever. I think we kind of kept our distance. Sometimes we'll interact on Instagram a little bit, but not really. And so there was just not really much follow-up. Like, she never really asked, like, hey, how's Beau doing? How are you guys doing with training? Let me know if you have any questions. There was none of that. And I just think at the end of the day, you're paying several thousands of dollars for a dog. A good breeder would put more time and effort into communicating with their new dog's owners. So that aspect just kind of made me feel like maybe because it's an affiliate litter, she doesn't care as much, she's not making as much money. I don't really know what it was. And I would really hope that it wasn't just the money aspect. Not too sure. And also, I mean, you can never guarantee a golden doodle size because of the mix and just like so many variations of them. But we were ultimately promised a dog that would be like 25 pounds or under, and Beau is 36 pounds as of a couple of days ago. He's been as much as 38 pounds before. So no, it doesn't matter what his size is, but the fact that they were kind of deceiving about his size was a little bit of a turnoff. We saw images of Beau's parents, but they were not ever really too specific about the size of his parents, and that's also our fault. Like, we could have just kept asking questions. Like, if they were not going to give us details, we could have been asking every question in the book that we needed to. But I think because this was like our first time purchasing a dog from a breeder, we were not up to par on everything that we should have been asking. Okay, so moving on. Bondi was actually not from a litter that we had a deposit on. She's from a totally different litter. I stumbled upon this dog on Instagram and I just loved the way that he looked. Like, he was just so cute. I really wanted a second dog just because I've always wanted 2 dogs, like as a kid, but we only ever had one. I'm obsessed with golden doodles. I love them. They're so cute. I wanted another one. I found this really cute dog on Instagram, and so we hunted down the breeder of that dog and ultimately found the breeder. I'm not going to mention breeders in this video. If you are really curious, you can check out my dog's Instagram, which is Life as a Mini Doodle, and They're usually tagged, like it shouldn't be too difficult to find the breeders. We had reached out to this breeder a few months ago and she didn't have any available puppies. And then we reached out to her again and she told us that she may have an available puppy for us, but we had to wait. We waited about a month to hear back from her whether or not we would be able to get one of the puppies from her litter. And Bondi's parents are the exact same parents of the dog that I fell in love with on Instagram, so it just felt like the perfect match. Come to find out, Bondi's breeder is probably one of the best golden doodle breeders out there. Like, there is just nothing negative I could say about her, really nothing that I would change about the experience. She gave us the experience that I would have wanted to have with Bo, or that I would want to have with any other breeder that I ever interact with. Besides impeccable communication with us, she would FaceTime us and she would show us Bondi and some of the other puppies sometimes. She called us up on the phone to interview us to decide whether or not we would be a good family for one of her puppies. She was very in-depth. That phone call was like almost an hour long. Here's another thing, which is a little controversial. Some people think that if a breeder does this, they're an excellent, reliable breeder, while other people really dislike this idea because they want to have more say in the dog that they choose. She had such a high demand for her litters that she decided she was going to pick which puppy would go to which family, and if that family said no, then she would pick another family for that particular puppy. The families were not able to pick and choose. There was no first pick, second pick, third pick. She is the one that picked the families for the puppies. Some people love this because the breeder knows the puppy best, and if the breeder is interviewing you enough, they know your lifestyle and your routine, and they can kind of match you with the perfect puppy. And looks don't matter in this, which, yes, looks are important, but at the same time, so is a puppy's personality and whether or not they'll fit with your lifestyle. While other people don't like this idea because they spend a lot of money on a dog and they want to be able to pick which one they get. I see both sides of it. But she told us that we wouldn't be picking our puppy, she would be picking for us, and we were okay with that. We seriously trusted her. After having multiple conversations with her, we really trusted her. She even hired a professional dog behaviorist to come in and evaluate the puppies, so she really had an in-depth understanding of the puppies' behaviors, which was incredible. So the day that she matched us with Bondi, she told us that she had 2 puppies in mind for us and that she would get back to us. Later that day, she said she chose Bondi for us. She gave us a list of reasons as to why she was the perfect fit for us, and it just all really made sense. The other puppy that she said she would match us with was a lighter color, so in my head I was hopefully we get the darker one because I love the apricot color of golden doodles and I would really love the darker one. The other one was like a very light apricot, but I was like, I really trust her, and whatever puppy we get, I think will truly be meant for us. We ended up getting matched with the darker color puppy, which was Bondi, and I was so happy about it, and everything just really felt perfect with this breeder. And besides her just totally standing out from any other breeder that we've ever spoken to, she sent us home with a gift bag. Like, most breeders will give you a gift bag with like their kibble, potty pads, some of their toys, all of the basic stuff, some of their health records. But she seriously went above and beyond, and just really quickly, she gave us several toys, like a bunch of toys. She included a brush. This is kind of empty now since all the toys have been used by now. We've got some wipes, waist bag. Here's a little picture of Bondi. Her name was Angel before it was Bondi, and she was actually the last to come out of her litter. And then this is what really just almost made me emotional. Like, I was so shocked, but she included this little binder with all of her information, and here's a little picture of Bondi. She was born on November 18th, so around the holidays. And I mean, I'm not gonna go too into depth, but she did write this long letter for us to read out loud to Bondi, which was really cute. We have a certificate of birth. Like, it's all in the details, and she seriously hit every single mark. We've got emergency phone numbers, the information about both of her parents, which we did not really receive from Beau's breeder. We have the OFA testing records. We have information about the stud and even a picture of him. He's a toy red poodle. Like, she really included it all. There's health records for both parents, some guides to having a new puppy. Okay, so my camera died and the sun is going down, so I apologize for the lighting changes. Anyway, everything just felt so perfect with Bondi's breeder. She really went above and beyond to communicate with us, make us feel like we were special, make us feel like Bondi was the absolute perfect dog for us. It was an amazing experience that I hope everybody gets to have with their breeder. So overall, like, I'm so blessed to have Beau, and I love him so much. I wouldn't trade him for the world, but if I did it over again, I would probably vet that particular breeder a bit more and maybe waited for one of the other breeders to have puppies that were available. You live and you learn, and I'm just sharing my experience so that you have a better idea of what to look out for when you're searching for your breeder. With that said, I think that is everything that I wanted to touch on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel to see more doggy content. Follow them on Instagram at mylifeasaminidoodle, and we will see you guys in our next video. Bye!